Hello, Education 380, Education 500, Dr. Allen here. Hope this semester I started off very strong for you, or at least smooth. I guess that's always the main goal, isn't it? Um, this is really our first week of doing some assignments. Um, we'll start to get in the general flow. Everything that's been posted up so far is great. I love looking at the Google Arts and Cultures. I know a lot of people are like, I don't look like that person. I don't think I look like that. Don't worry. I'm not ever going to remember them. And I have a feeling most people in here don't. It's just nice. It's a nice way to see some faces with names in an asynchronous class. I am actually going to probably leave week one open for just one more through this week, only because I know we have people that come in a little late and if you need time to get things posted. Second thing, before I go over this week's assignments, I want to make sure that I get this out. With an asynchronous class, I don't think this will be a major deal, but I still feel like I owe it to you to say it. Next week, I'm looking at my calendar. That will be the 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd. I will be in Florida at a conference. I'm presenting something on there. If you're interested in the topic, you're welcome to swing by my office. I'll talk about it. It's a social studies topic. It's kind of where my heart lies. With that being said, my communication might be a little spottier than it normally is. And what I mean by that, I'm usually a little bit of an email hawk for better or for worse. Not always, but usually. Going down, I'm traveling on Thursday, so I don't know how quick my replies to any emails might be on Thursday. And I just wanted to give you the heads up. And the same thing on Sunday when I'm coming back. During the conference, probably depending how interesting the sessions are, I may be checking my email during that. I just will make this promise to you. I will make sure to check my email at least one time in the evening on Thursday and when I get back on Sunday. When I'm traveling, I might be able to do it a little bit. Who knows? Everyone knows sometimes the travel things right now have been a little spotty. But I just wanted to give you that heads up. And because I will not be here on Thursday through Sunday, and usually I'm here for office hours or something like that, I actually bumped back the due dates, and I'll show you on week two to Monday at 11:59 instead of Sunday. I think that's the 23rd is when everything's going to be due instead of the 22nd. That's not the norm. I'm only doing that because since I'm not going to be here, I always feel like with an asynchronous class, I need to maybe be available at certain times. Actually, not a maybe. I should be available in case there's issues and I can't show you. At least I'll be here Monday to do that. Hopefully this video will take care of a lot of that if you can make it through it. But with all that being said, let me share my screen and let's just get rocking and rolling. This video, I apologize, will probably be a little longer than most, only because I might make some points with just the way the class is going to flow and what we would normally do. So with that being said, there's our class. I'm going to go to content. I've already got week two up, so I'll go ahead and say that. And again, there's week one there. If you notice, I already bumped it back to the 23rd. Again, that's just the norm. That's not the norm. Normally, I do the Sunday at 11:59, but Monday's good. This week, what we're going to do, we're going to talk a little bit about tech in the classroom in terms of websites. And I'm going to probably reference LMSs, learning management systems. That's your Schoology, that's your Google Classrooms, that's your Brightspaces. If you're a little bit of a veteran here at Shepherd, that's your Sakai's, it's your Canvas, I believe is what Jefferson County uses now. I think they switched to that or something along those lines. That's those are your learning management systems. I will be the first to admit most teachers now just use what a website does. Most teachers use LMSs for kind of in lieu of. I don't want to tell the story before I do the PowerPoint that I'm going to pull up. So we'll kind of reference back and forth to those two things, websites and LMSs. But if you hear me say LMSs, that's learning management systems, that's your Schoologies and things like that. This week you have to read Tech Like a Pirate. I didn't hype the textbook up too much. I'm actually just going to pull the website, one of the Ditch Your Textbook sites up. I like this book only for one thing. Well, multiple things. I like some of the suggestions, but I thought it's a pretty straightforward read. I thought it was more practical. I really do try to make this class practical and get you some tech that you might be able to use in the classroom, even if it's not all the tech, some of the ideas. So Tech Like a Pirate is one of those books that I think you might reference back to instead of getting into a lot of tech theories and how technology is this and that and that. I'm not saying that some of that isn't true, and we're going to actually talk about some of the 21st century issues with technology and some of the positives with technology, but at the end of the day, the reality is the schools want you to use technology. They spend money on technology. So if you're going to utilize technology, I thought this book would be a good one to kind of employ. I'll send this. I didn't post this link up. I'll send it up in announcements when I send the general thing out, the general like overview of the week. But there's a lot of little links here if you want to check out with like some tech ideas and things like that. You just click on the links and it'll show you, like, for example, hey, there's some images, and you can repost and they'll tell you all about it. So I'll put this up there if you're interested. Nothing required on here right now. I think there's some references on some of the discussion boards later, but I just wanted you to know that the site is up. And then this week, we're going to create a website. I'm going to go ahead and do the spiel a little bit. Websites, I used the website when I was a teacher, and I think there's a lot of benefits to it. One is I like it. Like, I can still pull my website up, even though I haven't been in a middle school classroom now for basically 4 years. I still have my materials, even though I've switched schools, and I can still pull that up anytime. I like that. I will say that if you're most teachers now have just kind of went to their LMSs and they use that for a lot of this type of material. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just like having access, because if I would be in Berkeley County using Schoology, and then I got a job in Washington County and they're using Google Classroom, I've lost my stuff that I posted on Schoology. Not saying that I don't have like files backed up on Word Drive, pushing it over into a file, into a Word, a flash drive or something like that. Not saying that's not what you can't do, but it's just, then you got to reload it and all that. It takes a little bit of time to build a website, but I liked having one. So I think it's a nice skill to have. And also, I think this is a nice activity to do right off the bat, because it's a little bit intuitive. A lot of the stuff you're going to be doing in this class is intuitive. Like, you kind of got to figure it out. It's a little bit of a Piaget type thing, but learning through experience. That's a little Dewey too, isn't it? But the thing is I think it's one of the trickier texts that we're going to do. But once you figure it out, you're like, oh, if I can do this, the rest of it's kind of like going downhill, so to speak. Also, probably the number one thing you need to do for this class right now, make sure you have a Google account and sign up for one. If you don't, you just go to Google and go up into that corner and sign up for an account. They're free. And the reason why I say that is because when we start using a lot of the texts, instead of having to create complicated logins like I have for a lot, and you're writing passwords down and all this stuff, you have it, it's just all tied to your Google, and you can just click the Google and you sign in. So make sure you do that. Plus, we're going to be doing Google Classroom next week, so it's a good thing to have. And actually, I'm going to show you Google Word or Google Sites today, so it's just something that I would recommend doing. Your assignments this week are going to be create a website, which I'm going to show you. Don't worry, it's a very basic type thing. You're going to blog on the website, whether you would create a website, whether you liked your site or not. And by the way, let me go ahead and say this. I don't care if you like it or not. I don't have any stock in it. Not that I want you to like it, but if you don't, and you say websites are trash, that's fine. I'm not, you might want to put it a little more professionally, but it's not anything. I don't have Google stock is what I'm basically saying. And remember, your blogs only have to be a sentence or two. And then you're going to do your discussion, which is going to be on tech or Teach Like a Pirate, Chapter 1. I'm sorry, Teach Like a Pirate, Tech Like a Pirate, their companion books. I think I just saw the Teach Like a Pirate on Dr. Burke's desk, actually. But we're doing Tech Like a Pirate. So that's kind of the main points. So before we kind of get going, I promise not to make this too long, but I do like to kind of pull up our lecture site and our PowerPoint and just kind of talk a little bit about websites. I will probably sign into my Weebly site just to kind of show it to you too. I'm also, before I get going, going to tell you this. The samples that I have in here are from Weebly. I liked Weebly. It's what I used when I taught social studies, especially if you're from Maryland. When I did National History Day and you did a website, it used to be you used Weebly. That's why I'm the most familiar with it. They actually ditched it and went to their own thing. So the examples I have here on Weebly are that's what they are. I will say this for Weebly. One thing, and I was just messing around with it before our class, Weebly was bought out by another company called Squares. and it still operates the same in what I'm showing you. I think it's gotten a little too complex though, just to sign in and with some of the bypass stuff. So you're welcome to use it. I'm actually going to show you the Google one today, and you might even bear with me. I'm a little excited because I use Google some, but I don't think I'm as refined as I am with Weebly. So you're going to see a Weebly, you're going to see a Google. You are welcome to use any of these type of texts though. And again, I'll just say that in the lecture here. So, all right, let's roll. Just talking. Why are you going to use Google or a website in the classroom? Well, there's a lot of advantages. We're going to outline those, but the main thing is it makes you look a little modern. I know I'm not going to say you're cutting edge or anything like that, but it's, at some point you do have to incorporate some technology. I think websites are a good way to do that. And if you're not going to create a website, I'm going to give a shout out to the LMSs. Utilize your LMSs. They're there for a reason. They do help. They're a form of communication. And that's what the websites are also for. Excuse me. There are a lot of advantages for a teacher using a website. One, it's paperless. We'll say it's more environmentally friendly because it is. Also, I will just say this with Brightspace. I really like being able to just going in and the assignment is there and I can grade it there. There's none of I turned it in. No, you didn't. Yes, you did. Yeah, I know. You don't get into the tit for tat, basically, like I turned it in. No, you did. Yes, I did. No, I didn't. It's either there or it's not there. Most of the websites actually have submission boxes too, if you want to utilize that. Most of you will probably utilize, though, your LMSs. Accountability. One, if a student says, well, I left my paper at home or things like that, I actually posted a lot of my stuff there up on my LMS or on my website, and students could easily get it and print it out. So it's accountability. Also, I feel like there was some accountability for me because it made me rotate. Like when I was teaching, it was usually like Thursdays at my planning was at like 2:00. So that was like the time that I did my postings and the updating for the following week of my website. And once I did it once, it was done usually because stuff was up and I could open pages and such when I needed to. Differentiated instruction. If you have IEPs or you have to provide certain materials, sometimes you can actually do this. If you need to provide students PowerPoints or notes, you can post these things up. I'm not saying not to print them out and hand them to them directly. That's probably good practice. But just in case they need access to it, again, it's up and it's there. You can also post videos that might be able to help and instructional type things. It also helps. I always found a website made me more organized and managed. It's an easy way to find things. And what I mean by that, instead of carrying a flash drive, plugging it in a computer, pulling it up, wondering why it's not open, I could just type it in, pull up the website, and my PowerPoint was there, and I just opened it. And I can pull it up anywhere on Earth. So you can't beat that. Also, it's great for communications. You can put newsletters, blogs, announcements, things like that. And again, all of these really apply to LMSs too if you do not want to do a website. But we're going to do a website. But I still want to give the shout out to the LMS. There's advantages for students, and a lot of it's still the same kind of stuff. There's the communication factor. There's collaborative learning. It allows students creative ways to communicate. I will say this, I'm going to show you an example. A lot of these websites are free when you have accounts, and students can actually make websites. And I think that's actually a pretty cool way to maybe do some projects. Also, it just gives that home base where students know where they can get things. A student's absent, but they might be able to look on your website to see what's going on or where to get materials, things like that. And in a pandemic world, maybe it's something that the students you can utilize. Hopefully we'll not have to go through all that again. But if we do, you got that home base and students know where to go. You kind of set up the routine. It kind of goes into that first day, that Harry Wong type stuff of setting up a flow, so to speak. Relevance, again, I just think it makes you look like it freshens up your classes. I'm not taking a shot at veteran teachers. Lord knows I was one of them. But it makes you kind of step out. I thought when I started to make a website, it made me clean up and freshen up some of my materials. And I think that's always a good thing to do each year, whether you're teaching pre-K, K, middle school, high school, university, college level. I think it's good to do that. Case in point, we'll see how it goes. I'm going to show you how to use Google Sites here in a minute, and when I would normally use Weebly. Parents, it's also beneficial to parents. I'm going to give a shout out. I have a 13-year-old. I'll probably reference a million times in these videos. And just to kind of let you know, I think I did that in the intro video, but it's nice to have a place to go to. My son's school uses Google, primarily Google Classroom type stuff, but it is really, it's a nice to be able to go check and double check him as far as homework, announcements, what's going on in class, get forms, things like that. It also allows a little bit of transparency. I don't think most teachers are trying to hide anything, but I think it just kind of opens the door a little bit for parents to see what's going on in the class. And I think it also helps parents be more on the ball, because if they know a teacher is posting things and saying things, if a teacher's posting things, I think parents kind of get conditioned a little bit to make sure that they're looking and seeing what's going on. And I will say this, once you start doing it, parents do expect it. I'm speaking as a parent a little bit here. I think it's a good thing though, because it holds you accountable as far as being organized, but it also holds them accountable on checking, because if you're being transparent and posting things, the lines of communications are there. With that being said, also, I know what teachers post things, and I appreciate it. And I will say this, I think there's a strong correlation between teachers who are very active in their communications and teachers who are not. Now, I'm not saying you have to do it on a website, but somehow on a learning management, I think it's very good to use that tool. Especially now, I'm going to hold my phone. So many people have apps and things like that they can, load up announcements. And I get little things that once teachers post assignments, they're there, or when a grade's posted or anything like that. So there are a lot of options for creating a website for a teacher. There's Google, there's Weebly, there's Wix. I don't have it on the list here. WordPress is very popular now. Actually, Google and WordPress might be the two most popular, and that's why I wanted to use Google today instead of Weebly. I'm going to show you how to use Weebly if you want to do it, though. And, some schools actually provide websites off of their LMSs too. So, we'll go that. I know it says we're going to focus on Weebly and Wix, but we're going to actually do Weebly, Wix, and then I'm going to jump over to Google and log in. Weebly and Wix are plug and play websites, meaning you can design them and just simply drop and drag stuff. Actually, Google's like that too, but I found that the Google one might be a little easier to use. That's one reason why I think I'm going to go with that. I found Weebly, I liked it, but it was a little bit quirky, if that makes sense. There's also, like I say, a lot of student sites that you can create off of this. This was my former site. I'll pull that up in a live fashion if you're interested here in a little bit. But as you can see, I have my home page. I had a page for 8th grade social studies, 7th grade social studies, 6th grade social studies. Some years I didn't teach all those. Most of the time I did, actually. But if I didn't, it's just, it was there if I ever needed it. And then I had my social studies fair information, my National History Day information, my History Bowl, and announcements. And then I did do a year where I had to teach. I have an English minor, and they needed a language arts teacher one year, and I did do a section of language arts. I kept my stuff there just because it was there, and I closed the access to students. So, but I always had my materials, so I knew where they were. I wasn't going through files and fishing around and things like that. With these sites, I'm going to show you Google, but with Weebly, if you decide to use it, there are YouTube videos for Wix, Weebly, WordPress, and Google all posted. And you're welcome to try any of them. I like Weebly a lot. And actually, the funny thing is when I was prepping for this semester and Weebly was bought out by Square, I would have probably still used Weebly to show you this. But the problem is I feel like the sign in is so complicated, even with Google, because there's a lot of pop-up windows, and I'm building to something. If you have anything that pops up and says they want more money, don't get out of it. I'm not asking you to upgrade to anything. There should be usually a little button that you can click to just bypass it, because all of these things should be free. But I thought the Weebly one was kind of hard to find. I actually recorded a little bit, and I just was like, no. But if you want to do Weebly and want to give it a roll, I just want to show you how to do it, or Wix. They're what I would call plug and play, where once you sign in and you hit the edit button, you'll come to a page that looks exactly like this. You can change your background, but you basically just take, like where it says text, you drag it over and you drop it, and it just puts it there, and then you type it in. It's almost like if you've ever designed a PowerPoint, how you like go click a text box and you can drag the text box and put it where you want, type it. That's what this does. And there's all these little things over here you can put on. I'm not asking you to do all these. Actually, we'll talk about the assignment, but basically I want you to create a home page, a second page, and I want you to post something on that second page. And as you can see, when you want to build a page, you just click page and it'll ask, and you just hit a plus sign. And those are the things that I used to put on there. It's just a great place to put handouts. I usually am very PDF pro PDF because it just seems like it's the one thing everyone can open. Because if you have a Mac, and then some people have problems with that, I like Macs, even though I don't have one in the office. I'm a little more pro Mac than PC, but like some of the stuff down here, like if it has lightning bolts, that's an upgrade. I'm not asking you to do. Don't upgrade anything. That's actually the screen where you can get your students. They're actually changed the look of that since I made this PowerPoint last year. But I wanted to show you a student example. Sorry, how much you on there? I want to show you a student example. This was an World War I assignment for 6th grade. We decided to make websites, and what the students had to do is they had to do a homepage, just like you're going to do. They had to do a bio on something related to World War I. This student obviously did the Red Baron, which I thought was a pretty good topic. And you see that's actually a GIF of Snoopy, or is it GIF? I always say GIF, so we're going to go GIF. And Snoopy's like got the scarf blowing and things like that. And then they had to do a 2-paragraph bio and just a little bit of, cite their sources. And then they had to post a video from YouTube on there. And if you go back up here, you can drag YouTube videos right there. You can just drag it, and she created a second page and she dropped it. And that's kind of how it went. So what do you need to do? I'm going to show you in a minute, but you need to either create a Wix, Google Sites, or Weebly Education website, or WordPress. It's a very brief website. You're going to put a title page. You're going to have a little bit of a design on it. Make sure you have a header. And then on a second page, you're going to either, underneath of it, you're going to put a link, a handout, a video, something related to a class that you're going to be teaching. So the example I'm going to do, I might do like 1066, the Norman invasion of England. I think I mentioned in my intro video, I went to England. We did some tours. I thought it was pretty interesting. But if you have any problems, just let me know. You're going to publish it and just submit the link on Brightspace. And I'm going to say it now so I don't forget. Brightspace is quirky with the links. If you have trouble submitting a link, all you have to do is open a Word page and just put the link on a Word document and just submit the Word document. If it doesn't let you submit the link directly. And of course, Sakai is done, so it should be Brightspace. Don't worry about electronic planning. I'll just give a quick shout out. They started to charge during the pandemic, and I might go over it a little bit later in the semester, but there are a lot of electronic planners. Again, your LMSs have this, but if you're interested, I really liked planbook.com. It had a small cost to upgrade, and I actually did pay for it. I think it was less than $10. But you don't have to do anything with this, but it is here if you want to check it out. That's kind of what it looked like. It does align standards and things. This was some of my old pages, and I kind of, as you can see, color coded and such. But that's by and large what some of the LMSs and website type features are. What you need to do though is create a site. So here's what we're going to do. I said I was going to show you Google Sites, and let's go down here and look at the assignment. And as you can see, there's all that. If you click on these, you'll see that the YouTube videos are there. And let me say this, I try to catch all the YouTube videos and update them and things like that. If there's one that's giving you a little bit of problems or is not opening or seems a little too dated, just let me know. I watch them and all, but stuff happens. That's the Google account how-to if you do need it. I have a feeling most people have it. And there's this discussion rubric you don't have to worry about. I don't even have that open for you all because it's going to be attached to it. But with that being said, the assignment, here it is. When you click on the assignment, you'll see there's a PDF. What we have to do, there's a tutorial if you need it. Sign up for one of the websites. I would strongly suggest at this point Google. It just seems like the easiest one to use and to sign into, especially once you create your account. but you're going to make a brief website. You're going to have title with your name. You're going to have a subpage, whatever it is, a grade, a handout, or anything like that. And that's it. So why don't we just get on to it? I'm sitting here just talking, and I said I'd keep these videos short, and I'm not doing that. Sorry, I knew this one would be long. Grr. All right, here we go. Let's go. I am going to, sorry, that top always throws me off. Let's go to Google. You go up here. Actually, I'm just even going to make this easier. Let's just do Google Sites. I'll just type it in. There you go. Google Sites sign in. Actually, if you look there, there is one for teachers. And there's a training center. I'll put that up, actually. I don't know why I didn't, but here you go. I'm just inspecting this. When you go there, as you can see, some people have already done some, but these are prior semesters. But if you go, you just hit blank, boom. And actually, I should say this. You go back. So you can see there's different templates you can use. I'm just going to tell you to use blank. I'm sometimes I think, what is it? KISS, keep it simple, stupid. Not that anyone in here is stupid. I just am saying that for myself. I just think it's just easier, but you're welcome to go. If you're an expert, go for it. All right. You're going to do your title page. I said I'd do 1066, so why don't we do that? And you can see I have 1066. Boom. Then you can change your image up there. Let's select an image. Let's go. Green's my favorite color, so let's go green. You can see I like that. That's looking pretty sweet. And then let's do this. I want to do an image. So let's upload or select an image. And as you can see, you got, this is why I think Google might be better than the other ones at this point. You don't have to drag so much stuff. But I'm going to go to Google Images, and we're going to say 1066. As you can see, oh, look at that. There's maps. There's all types of cool stuff there. All right, we're going to just do that. I'm going to insert that. And as you can see, boom. And size it up. And you can pretty all this up as much as you want. I'm just kind of fiddling right now. All right. And as you can see, and I actually did not do this either. As you can see, you can add text boxes. Oops, let's just add a text box. And I might put, where you want to put it is up to you. I'll put Dr. Allen, and you'll put Mr., Mrs., or however you want to put your title on your webpage. All that works. All separately, you can put your full name, however you want to go. Dr. Allen's Social Studies class. And actually, I think being down there is kind of lame. I mean, I'm sure, but we'll put it there. Lame on my part. You could actually probably do it up here too if you wanted. 1066, or you could just do this Dr. Allen's website or class, history class. Then you just go down here, and we can just say, let's get that out of there. Boom, and looks like you can just trash it if you want. Boom. See, look at that. Look at that. Now, what else do you need to do? You need to add a page. I said that. See that right there? You click that. We already have a home page. We're going to hit that plus sign. New page. You can see new link. You can embed stuff. Menu selection. We're just going to hit new page. And we're going to say 1066. Kind of change this up. I guess the home page should probably be your class title. Thinking a little slow. And as you see, there we go. It's right up there. So let's click that 1066. And we should be able to, whoops, sorry, get out of there. Oh, no. All right, so at 1066, there we go. Delete, and we should be able to insert. There we go. Did you catch how I did that, by the way? Home page. Then we're going to go to, we can add anything. If we want to add anything to this, you hit insert. And now we're in 1066. We want to add something. We sure do. So we're going to, you see they have drives. We can do images. I said you could do files. You can do links. You can do whatever you like. But as you see, there's a whole bunch of stuff down there. You can have stuff off of your Google. And this is where I think maybe the Google Sites is probably the best one, because you might have already stuff built in your Google accounts. Well, let's just do a YouTube video. And I have to admit, I don't know, that's a video game. That's fine. It doesn't show. I just want that there, and you can put that there, and it's clicked. That's really all I'm asking you to do. You can add as much as you want. Let's title this Dr. Allen's class. And once I do all that, you see that publish up there? We're going to publish it. And I'm going to click that. You don't have to do that, but I'm not going to have anyone. I don't need anyone to find this. I would suggest doing that. There you go. It's been published. And you should be able to share it. Let's see. Double check. Make sure I'm a little rusty on some of this sometimes. Share with others. And you can do that. You can just that. You should be able to. That's me. General access is restricted. You know, you might have to share a link with anyone. And let's do this. Okay, you can actually, when you send it to me, when you put share with others, you can just do this. I'm fine if you want to email this to me, and you could just do it that way. And that should be website. If you don't want to submit it on Brightspace, you should be able also to get the link. Oh, send it to my 1066 then, sorry. That's the address right there, Jason Allen 1066 like that. Or you can also do this. Go on here. Sorry. Long day. All right. It should be able to forward it, I thought. Give me 1 sec here. A little rusty. Oh, link. How about the link? There you go. Copy link, and that will work. So, and don't worry, if you put not restricted, that should still be fine, because if you submit that. So I think I butchered that last part of how to submit it. So let me just make sure you know that. If you click the link, you should just copy it, and you should be able to send it to me. But if you need to, you can also share at that Jason Allen 1066 at Google Gmail. Just do me a favor if you do that. Just email me and say, hey, I sent it to your Google email. I didn't submit the link. So that's all you have to do for that. You do not have to use Google, though. You are welcome to use WordPress, Wix, Weebly. I know a lot of people fooled with the others, and I'm totally fine with that. So hopefully that all made sense, but there are YouTube videos up if what I just showed you made no sense as far as using the tech, and you are welcome to check those out. And of course, YouTube is a great resource. So with that being said, I thought this video is a little longer because making the websites is a little more detailed. But the big thing you have to do, make the website, blog on it. And when I'm talking blog, just like, I like websites, but I don't think I would use them in the class because such and such. Discussion, make sure your discussion, I like around 150 words, but make sure you have a little bit of detail there, and then create your Google site. But that should do it. I'm babbling. I hope everyone's semester start off well. If anything in this video did not make sense, feel free to contact me anytime. I know sometimes I babble a little bit, and sometimes it's easier to do it live. I'm babbling now, so I'm just going to get off here, and I'll talk to you all next week. Bye. Maybe I'll stop.